A little bit of time with our county commissioners, brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Robin Gorman not able to be with us today. Sherene Hess expected to join us at some point during this conversation, but Mike Keith is with us this morning. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Todd. How are you doing?
Wonderful, and it's good to have you with us here today. See, I got you on the air and the sun started shining.
That's a good thing.
Has to be a direct correlation. All right. Let's talk about a few county issues that are away from coronavirus and COVID-19, because there are some out there, and some big news, some really good news came through last week with the announcement of the funding approval for the next step in the Challenger Learning Center. Tell us about that from a county standpoint.
Yeah, Todd. Entering into office, the previous board had worked with the Westmoreland Community College and along with the Challenger Board to actually put the facilities into play and get started on those projects, the building projects. So coming into it, we were going again through the budget and everything, and we were looking for ways to how we were going to fund this. And I've always said, when you have bad things happen, good things come along. Well, when the COVID-19 virus came along, we know what the feds did with the interest rate. And at that point was a perfect time that we thought, let's go ahead and refinance our budget and take a look and see where we could restructure it. And we did. And we, at that time, announced that we were able to get $10 million in new monies.
Wow.
And what that means is that extra money was able to actually not only fund those projects, but also we have some upcoming facility projects with our county facilities that we needed to do. So that was a great win-win for us on that.
Yeah, you don't just open a building and it stands without substantial work for the next 50, 60, 70 years. But some of those other county facilities include the building in which you're sitting now, the county courthouse, correct?
Yes, we have some stuff we needed done there, repointing of the brick and some of the windows and stuff needed taken care of. Along with that, Judge Haber's office, he'll be moving over to the old CYS building across from Dairy Queen, and that's going to be totally remodeled for him. Along with that, we have some construction that needs to happen at the jail. There's some issues out there that need to be taken care of. So that's the annex buildings, 801 and 827, and we're actually going to move the coroner's office with all that in that move.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So some shuffling around of offices and some needed construction, and it's always good to be able to find some money. It's not like you're checking your pants pockets and your coat pockets from last winter to find this stuff. You have to actually go out and pursue it, and it's good that you are.
Yeah, and what actually helped out along with those projects is, those were projects we were looking to do, and now the CARES funding came into play. This is going to actually enhance some of those projects that we can actually probably design a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's look at the pandemic and how Indiana County's response has been going. Just like every other county in Pennsylvania and across the nation, the challenges were not only unprecedented but completely unexpected, and so it changes so quickly. The governor announcing new restrictions last week. From a county standpoint, what are some of the things that stand out about the governor's order last week and how Indiana County and its business community have responded?
Well, we went from the 50% to 25% in our restaurants, and we've heard from those restaurant owners as far as how they're stepping back and making the accommodations for their customers. One nice thing is downtown Indiana Borough, we have the on the sidewalk being able to serve their customers there, which was a great help. And working with those businesses, I give Indiana Borough a lot of credit for that. That's a far reach out for them, and it's good in a way because again, people can still get out and still enjoy getting out and helping our downtown Indiana along with our other businesses that during this crisis they struggled. They have struggled and they continue to struggle. And we as commissioners offered some financial help, and we still continue to do that through the planning office and the CEO corporation. So that's a lot of good things that we still have in the mix to continue with finances.
Yeah, one of the things, and if Sherene joins us, I should explain to listeners we're doing this via Zoom, so we don't know when and if Sherene is going to jump on, but if she does, Sherene, just announce yourself and we'll know that you're there. But one of the interesting things to me, Mike, is about, we're talking about outside dining, we're talking about folks getting out and moving about, but here we are, it's the end of July almost. And then we move into August, and it's not too long after that before weather turns colder. Flu season begins, pandemic season just might, coronavirus season just might be still going pretty strong at that point. You have to, as a county, plan ahead for whatever the fall and the winter are going to look like. A lot of that planning will have to do with coronavirus and COVID-19, but you've got other things that you have to pay attention to. There are things that on a seasonal basis come up that need attention. And so what are the next few months looking like from a planning standpoint for the county commissioners?
Well, working with our emergency management, that was the other thing, is planning with our PPE, making sure that we have that equipment in place that we can distribute to the other entities within the county, like Indian Haven, the jail, the hospital, citizens ambulance, those people, who actually we can identify from the inception of this virus. So we have those all intact and in order. We're ready for the stance on that. Again, Indiana Hospital and IUP now are doing the testing, and that is something in place that we didn't have, prior to that. A lot of precautions are being taken, throughout, not only Indiana Borough, all the other municipalities. So there's a lot of things that we learned from the inception of this moving forward that are being put into place or are in place. So that is a good thing. The only thing is like you said, we have to get ready because we're going to be changing seasons, and when we change seasons in Indiana County, we know we can run into some really tough winters.
Yeah, and there are a couple of things that we look forward to each fall as well. Election season is going to be different this year, and in this particular year, 2020, it is a census year, and those have been big issues for Indiana County as well. Let's start with that census. Indiana County's response is still a bit behind 2010. I know there's a big concerted effort underway right now, thanks to Josh Krug and everybody else involved with the census count. But it just takes on added importance every single day to get this thing done right, doesn't it?
Most certainly, and I give Josh and the group there, the committee that's been working with that census, a lot of credit. They have really put a lot of effort into seeing this through. And just recently, we've actually Josh has put those people into play. Their boots to the street, and they're out there knocking on doors. And hopefully that actually we get beyond this, what our average number is, instead of being behind. And again, if you haven't filled your census out, please do so. You can still do it online because, again, those are very, very critical funds that the county, we need them. Because if not, and something is needed to be put into play, it comes out of the taxpayer, out of the pocket from Indiana County. Yeah. So, we need to continue.
Yeah, and one of the things that I always point to is the fact that the funds are going to be distributed. Somebody's going to be getting that money, and it would be such a shame if money that should have been in Indiana County goes to some other county because their people filled out their censuses and our people sat on their hands and didn't. We really need to take that responsibility very seriously. Of course,
that's correct. And people think that that by having their name and address out there puts them into some other kind of category. It doesn't. This is all confidential information. It doesn't get out, and but it's critical. That number is critical.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, elections are another responsibility of every citizen, and fair elections have been an issue. Mail-in ballots have become a big issue this year. Indiana County, through the primary election, I thought did pretty well and had everything in a row and seemed like everything went as smoothly as maybe even more smoothly than we could expect. What's your reaction to the way the primary went, and as we look forward to the fall election, how we are preparing for that?
Well, this is first time as commissioner and actually working so closely with the election board. It went very smooth. I mean, the people that we have in place as far as what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and how they actually go about the procedures of actually rolling it out went very well. We had very little as far as any kind of hiccups along the way. Everything was really great. Rob and Mary took charge and saw that through. And even going into the general election, I think everything is right on track as far as planning and getting everything ready for it. I know that they've been working on it, and they do a great job with that. But we have that little thing where we're dealing with all the counties in the Commonwealth as far as the court order that everybody's followed. And, again, we'll get through that, and the general election will just go on without a hiccup. I believe it'll be great.
That's good
news.
News.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, there is Sherene.
Can you hear me?
Sherene.
Yeah, Sherene, good morning. Good morning.
I finally was able to get on. I wanted to tag on to that conversation about voting. If you don't mind, I wanted to say a little bit about the mail-ins and how successful it was, and how we had an enormous percentage of our mail-in. Our votes this time was from the mail-in. And just want to encourage people you can get online and apply for your mail-in vote for the upcoming November 3rd election.
Yeah.
So they won't be prepared for a while, but you can still apply right now for mail-in or absentee.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there a deadline for that, Sherene?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a deadline for that for you to apply for a mail-in ballot?
It'll be, they're kind of working on a deadline, but it won't be any later than 30 days before the election, and it may even be up to 15 days before the actual election. So kind of stay tuned for that. There's some things are a little bit in flux in regards to that. But it's easy to apply at votespa.com or call our election services office at 465-3852, and they'll certainly help you out.
Yeah,
big shout out to our election folks. They've done a tremendous job.
And there's a lot of people that actually, when they actually the primary, they actually wanted this to continue. So it's a lot of them. It's just going to be an automatic mail out to them also.
Yeah,
that's right.
We'll have the League of Women Voters on the air with us in our next hour. As a matter of fact, we talk a little bit more about the upcoming November election, which it just isn't that far away, even as we think about it here in July. So a lot of issues still to be resolved there, and folks can be active participants in that. Sherene, it's unfortunate you came to us late today. I know that sometimes we can't match up as well as we could, but as we close the segment today, anything else that you would like to bring up from the county commissioner standpoint?
I just want to say to everyone out there, your county government is still working on a lot of projects, moving forward, investing in our business community and our citizens, and helping all those who need services. This is a very tough time for a lot of people, and if you need help with anything, reach out to us. We're here, and I bet you we can find at least some kind of direction for you if you're in need. And so thanks to everybody who's doing their part to help us keep this virus under control as much as we can. I encourage everybody to be safe and do what you can to make your neighbors and your friends and family safe too.
Good advice.
Thank you.
Sherene Hess, Mike Keith, thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank
Our
you,
pleasure.
Todd.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. You too. Bye-bye.
It's